What should be on your anti-authoritarian reading list? Since the current government of the United States very much wants it to be an authoritarian state and is taking steps towards doing so, it behooves citizens to understand what authoritarian states are like. The most essential book would be Timothy Snyder's On Tyranny. If you haven't read it yet, you really should. You could probably read it in about a half hour to an hour. It is a very light read in terms of time you'll spend reading it, but it is a very deep read. It explains how authoritarian regimes work, what they rely on, and what can be done against them. Read it often. Another book I'm going to recommend is something that was a college textbook for me way back in 1989 called The Nazi Seizure of Power by William Sheridan Allen. Now this book is about how that party, I think I can only say that word once or I'll get a, violation, how that party took over a single German town and how they used their power. It showed what an authoritarian regime was like at a local level. I checked and the book is still available. It's been updated, but I took a scan through it and it is still the core of the book I read. Extremely readable. I strongly recommend it. I haven't read the whole thing since 1989, so I'm going to be doing a reread after I finish reading The Hobbit again. I need some joy in my life. And speaking of fiction, George Orwell's works are often mentioned. 1984 is an obvious one, but I would really suggest Animal Farm, which shows a political revolution and its aftermath as you see the people who usurped power are totally in it for themselves, and how those who believe in their revolution are used and then discarded when they are no longer needed. There's lots of other books I would recommend, but I would also love to hear what you would suggest. And remember, all this reading is so that it drives you to action, or at the very least, targeted inaction. Do not comply in advance. When ICE shows up, you know nothing, that sort of stuff.